Hello, ma'am. I feel like you're a scam. So prove to me that you're real.
Is that how you intro it?
As I did. I was straight up like,
It would be my reaction too.
I'm calling you out as a scam. And,
Yeah.
you know, she pointed out her name on the masthead of Condé Nast and then looked into it. And then we had a little chat. And I was like, okay, this is legit.
Say this is a Because Design Matters exclusive.
This is
That's exactly the result. I get lots of time.
We're going to keep that.
Yeah.
This is a Because Design Matters exclusive.
93.3. We are here with... You want to go ahead and say it?
It's either Tania or Tania Lacaria.
You just let them pick?
Yeah.
Can't believe you let them pick.
You know what? It's one of the most asked questions I get. Am I a Tania or am I a Tania? And I will tell you what I tell everyone else, and that is that I have many different people in my life who call me many different versions, including my own family. So as long as you get it in the wheelhouse.
You're so over it.
I'm so over it. Yeah.
Said, ask me something else.
Yeah, ask me something else. And ironically, everyone mispronounces my last name, but it's actually Lacaria. So
Lacaria.
Yeah, let's go with Tania Lacaria. Hi,
So
Brody.
that's the one you like.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, you're like, I won't commit.
Yeah.
Because there's someone at home that likes it the other way.
No
and you're
shade
like,
to
I'm
the
not.
people who call me Tania. I still love and accept you.
All right. We'll move on from the name, but we'll save that for all the other basic shows.
Cool, yeah.
We'll start right out the gate.
Let's do it.
This is a hot dog, a sandwich.
Oh, you know, I'm going to say by technical terms, since a sandwich would be comprised of like anything between two pieces of bread in my mind, I'm going to say technically yes.
See? And I promised I was going to retire that question. After
Okay.
the Hot Diggity Dog show, I was like, I'm done with that question. It's been immortalized.
Can I
It's
ask
over.
you what the general poll has been?
The poll has been a lot of no. A
Really?
lot of like dislike
Okay.
for just like that it's being suggested.
That's interesting.
It's either like people are like, oh yeah, maybe, or they're like, it's like, how dare you?
offended? Like
Yeah,
hot
yeah,
dog's
like-
its own category?
I don't know
like
if
it
they
cannot
think
be
like I'm wrecking a hot dog,
Oh.
or if they think I'm like cheapening a sandwich, maybe.
Either way, you're doing one of the two.
And I had like
injustices.
a whole route for the argument when they're like, oh no, it needs to be two
Yeah.
separate pieces of bread. I'm like, Subway, and then they got another rule. And then I'm like, what's a taco then? And there's a whole series of me just messing with whoever it is.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think
Yeah.
I gave it that much thought.
No, when somebody says yes, I'm just like, boom. I was like,
We're done.
We're done. The
We're
question,
done. All right,
because
we
I'm
can
not
call
going to
it.
argue. I don't know why I don't switch sides. I can play devil's advocate now. But the Hot Diggity Dog show,
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
that was a lot of fun.
I don't know if you got to attend it because I didn't see you there when I attended, but I saw your Hot Diggity Dog art, and it was fabulous.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
saw your Hot Diggity Dog art as well.
Yeah.
And my favorite part was the little bit of mustard.
Oh,
on
the
her
mustard fingers.
The mustard
I
fingers.
think whoever's listening to this and has no context,
Good.
I'm just gonna, good. Just stay
If
in
you
the
didn't
dark.
go,
If
I
you
don't
didn't
want you to
go,
know.
you don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very exciting for me when Professor Hall asked me to be involved. I was very excited because typically I'm an abstract painter and I don't do a lot of representational work.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a nice opportunity to stretch outside of the abstract realm. And obviously, I had to paint Venus de Milo standing on a hot dog because Botticelli banished her to a lifetime of standing on a clamshell for the benefit of the male gaze. And I thought, no, maybe she wants to ride a hot dog for the rest of eternity.
yeah, that's how you really conquer the male gaze.
Yeah, and she just, happened to be enjoying the hot dog and dipped her fingers in a little bit of mustard. And now Hot Diggity Dog, Venus to Hot Dog, has a happy home with a collector. So
She took the male gaze back.
she did. She reclaimed it. She was like, this is mine now.
Yeah, when I was looking at the show to come, it was, I think through your page was the first like introduction to it.
Yes.
And then I was scrolling through people's profiles and be like, oh, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And yours was one of them looking at the abstract stuff. But I
Yeah.
was looking at, I think there was something, do you have a piece with like peaches in it?
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's going to be something like this. And then it was something completely different.
That's
And I
right.
think a lot of people went that way.
Yeah.
Like another one was, it was brought up when they were here to talk about the show, was Paul Ely's.
Oh, yeah. Paul Elia did such a cool
Elia.
job. Yeah.
Names are not mine.
Yeah, that's okay. He's a colleague of mine and a good friend. So that piece, he was a little concerned about, and I was like, "You get to have fun with hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like it's art. You don't
Push the
have
boundaries
to,
a little
yeah,
bit.
push the boundaries.
That was a fun one.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was. Do you have a favorite?
I feel like I liked the absurdity of Nathan Carson's piece because it was so teeny tiny that it was almost easy to miss.
I know exactly what
You
you're
know
talking
how
about.
small it was?
Yeah, he just took the little
that was, and it
canvas.
was not even for sale.
Wasn't for sale?
No, Nathan was like, I'm just gonna contribute this itsy bitsy little hot dog, and I thought that was hilarious.
It was for pickpockets only. Like if someone could like slide it in their pocket and leave, like you got it.
Not for
right?
sale, only for stealing.
Yeah, you can only steal it.
You never know.
So speaking of the different approaches,
Yeah,
there was the hot dog Banksy.
there was. What the big show in Toronto?
Mm-mm.
The one at the Hot Diggity Dog show?
That hot dog Banksy.
Oh, I don't know that I saw that one or
Were
remember
you?
it.
So what time did you get to the event?
I got to the event pretty close to the opening.
Okay.
That's not true. Went out to dinner beforehand with some friends in the show, and then we might have rolled in around like 8 o'clock.
Okay. And what time did you leave?
Before
Just, like,
whatever.
tracking your whole evening out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what time did you get to bed?
This
And
is
what
like a
time did you
very-
wake up the
yeah,
next day?
This is a scary interrogation. I
Yes.
feel like you're getting at the weird installation art that happened in the moment. Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
where
Because
we're
I
going.
definitely saw it on Instagram and was like, this was the wrong night to choose to be responsible and go to bed early.
Like I missed
I totally missed
the
out
moment.
on the dripping ketchup and all the fun.
Yeah. See, I saw a photo of it later, and it was
Yeah.
just dripping on the floor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had no idea of backstory.
There we go. Installation.
So then when Chris and Swave were here,
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta ask you guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was controversial.
I didn't either, other
Yeah.
than like a waste of condiments. You know,
The
the
whole
Italian
bottle
in
of
me is like,
ketchup.
let's not waste food. But
It was full. You could tell.
Yeah.
He got full like squeezes out of it.
I love it.
I never expected to see the footage. That made sense to get footage, right?
That's so fun.
For Instagram and other things, which we were speaking of before.
Right.
You have almost no choice at this point, I feel like.
Well, I don't know, Brody. I think everybody always has a choice.
All right, that's fair. That
You
makes
know,
it sound bad.
we got to take responsibility for our actions. I think
Yeah.
everybody has a choice, but I think that if you choose to participate in social media,
Mm-hmm.
then you are giving yourself an opportunity to like be on the same level and playing field as so many of your contemporaries. If you choose not
Yeah.
to do that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Still a choice, though.
Still a choice.
You
I
know?
forget who it was who spoke about it. It was like years ago. I think it might have been Gary Vee or something. He's talking about the idea of like as like businesses, not as like artists, to be
Right.
like, if you're not using it, he's like your competitor
Yeah.
probably is.
Yeah.
He's like, so whatever, it's just a marketing tool. He's like,
Yes.
if they're getting marketed more than you, they're likely getting more sales than you also.
I feel this in my bones. And for me, I've had such amazing opportunities come through my social media, specifically my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experimented on a couple different platforms and they all serve a different purpose. But like, if I didn't use Instagram to my advantage, I would have missed out on being in British Vogue. I would have missed out on being in Vanity Fair. I would have missed out on, selling the Venus de hot dog because the collector who saw it on my social media didn't attend the show in person. So it's this funny thing where it's like social media can feel like such a silly pandering to an audience, but at the same time, you have to play the game if you want to be in
The audience
the game.
is there.
Yeah.
If the audience is there,
Yeah.
I need to take advantage of it to
That's
some
what I
degree.
think.
Like I've had the same experience of like so many opportunities coming through that.
Right.
Of just like putting my stuff and putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Or even that being like the vehicle that connected me with other people.
100%.
But I have to go back because you said Vanity Fair
Yeah.
and British Vogue.
Yeah.
I need you to elaborate.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So I was contacted through email, and somebody had showed up on my Instagram feed and was looking through my page and wanted to know if they could put my art in British Vogue. And I was like, well, this is clearly a scam because that doesn't happen in real life, especially not to me. But turns out I went through the whole vetting process and I was like, responding to the email saying like, hello, ma'am, I feel like you're a scam. So prove to me that you're real.
Is that how you introed it?
As I did. I was straight up like,
It would be my reaction too.
I'm calling you out as a scam. And,
Yeah.
she pointed out her name on the masthead of Condé Nast and then looked into it. And then we had a little chat and I was like, okay, this is legit. And then it was just a bit of a once you're under the Condé Nast banner, then Vanity Fair was like, hey, cool, we saw your stuff in British Vogue. Do you want to be in Vanity Fair? And I was like, yes, thank you. So that was pretty cool.
Which aren't like casual magazines.
I guess not.
Like those are big names.
Yeah, like I'm not a magazine reader per se.
Yeah.
But it was fun because the opportunity to start a conversation about the 2 paintings that were in these magazines are part of my She's a Sweet Peach collection, and it's not even released yet.
Oh, wow.
So it was really fun to be able to throw to a collection that I'm hoping will drop in 2025, because at this point I've been saying it's going to come up in 2024, and guess what? It's already Christmas in my mind. Yeah, like we done. So I'm hoping.
If I can see Supercrawl, it's Christmas.
Oh man, it's just like August is going to fly by. It always does. So yeah, that was cool and that was exciting.
Well, I want to give you the opportunity to add to your magazine. Now you have to be very specific about which page you open up here.
Okay.
Because this is an old version.
Okay.
So I don't want you to open up and be like, "That's a blank page."
Okay. Yes. Okay. I got it. I can play the game.
To the moment.
Okay.
Happened fairly, not that recently. But, and this isn't like, oh, surprise, I stole images from your Instagram.
Okay.
You're familiar with Ian's work.
Yes, of course I am.
If you can
Ian
take
Pettigrew.
a look at that, you've made it into Because Design Matters magazine now. And I'm not saying which one's more important. I'm just saying this one's in Hamilton.
You know what? This is special because it's meaningful, right?
See,
and I love that there's an international audience reading the other stuff, but one day an international audience will have access to this too.
I'm going to use that clip.
Yeah, please do. And like, these are my people.
That's a good collection of people right there.
This is an incredible group of people. I know so many wonderful humans that are in this book. I know so many wonderful humans that were in Handmade Hamilton, Ian's first book. And I think that this is such an amazing project. I've already, contributed to my funding for getting this book off the ground, but like Ian's doing such an amazing thing.
I love the campaign of like promotion as well that he's been doing. 100%. So it's like, what's the approach that can be consistent as well, right? Can you hold that up and show where you are in this? This is like Where's Waldo.
I know it is like Where's Waldo, and I don't even have my glasses on, but
this was a setup.
There she is. Ta-da!
You're able to spot yourself, so that is good.
Yeah. I'm like looking for a recognizable silhouette without putting on my glasses. But I see a lot of other friends in here, and it's awesome. I love it. Look at you officially.
That's a good ad right there.
Taking out ads.
I sent him an email to be like, "You're promoting," and I know what he was gonna send me. I just saw one of the Instagram ads and was like, "This would be cool enough right here." And then he sent me that, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "This is next level."
I think the fun part about this project is that it has started so many conversations amongst people that I know in Hamilton, and there's a lot of people that were like, "Oh man, I really wanted to be in the book. That's so cool. I want to be recognized." But I have decided, I've distilled the reason down to everyone wants to be involved because having a strong sense of community is so important. Yeah. And Ian is basically putting out a celebration of community with this book. And we buy the books and we collect them and we leave them on our coffee table and we show them to our friends, and it is like a celebration of each other and ourselves, but we're all in this together. Like, I love it.
I think there's idea of people like, I want to be in that like collection of people. Yeah. Like, that's a good list of people. I want to be in there. So me asking about the ad was me like pandering. Yeah. Like, if you do it again.
Yeah. I know. Do it again.
It was all about me.
And also
you,
like, if you are lucky enough to be in the book, you end up with these rad photos because Ian is like an incredible photographer. Yeah. And our photo session was like so easygoing and so natural, and like, he makes me look really cool. So
cut to the promo.
Cut to the promo
from today.
Yes, cut to today's promo photo. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, no, I think that's gonna be. I don't even fully know what the book is, but I'm gonna have to invite him here to talk about it. Because as far as I know now,
you should.
It's photos.
I think
I've
you
seen
should.
the photos. It's Hamilton.
Yeah, I think he's halfway to funding right now and could use a little push. So
yeah. When I talked to him, he's like, when's it going to come out, though? Because like, it's getting close to the end.
True.
Like,
well, if anybody is listening, you can go to Ian's GoFundMe page for Homemade. This is Homemade? Yes. Homemade Hamilton book. It's only $23 to get a copy. And you get to read about amazing people in Hamilton, short bio, in-color photo. Like, it's a no-brainer investment.
You should just get it.
Yeah, just get it.
If you live in Hamilton,
what are you waiting on?
You get the book.
Just get it.
Pre-order it.
Yeah.
Because pre-order goes a long way.
That's right.
Because then it can get made easier.
Yeah. Help fund the project. Yeah. And like, if you are excited about being in the book and you want to be in the book, the next book or whatever, and you didn't support this book, shame.
Yeah, you don't got a chance.
No.
Or if you're in the book and you didn't order your copy already.
Shame.
Or is he giving away copies to people in the book?
I don't know. I ordered a copy just because I wanted
See,
to
that's
be
supporting.
like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Here's
Thanks for
how
making me cool.
appreciate it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think just a really cool idea. I think
agreed.
Hamilton's got a lot of that like going on. More like light on.
Yeah.
This is a group of artists. The hot dog show is a good example.
Yes.
Art circuit.
Yeah. The art circuit.
Tell me a story.
Yes.
Is that the right title?
You're nailing it. So the art circuit.
See, these notes, they say nothing.
I
They
know.
say nothing.
They're all in your brain. You're such a professional. The art circuit is a very exciting art-based experience that is happening this year on October 4th. Myself and my partners, Mary Flynn of the Back Alley Gallery and Paul Elia, who will be our host for this year. We are very excited that this year is bigger and better than last year. And the art circuit is like a bus tour, like a hop on, hop off bus experience that takes people to 4 different art shows at 3 different destinations. So that if there's like a show happening at the same time on the same night, you get to go to all of them.
Sometimes people are like, oh, this one's near me or whatever. It's convenient.
Yeah.
I'll just go to that one.
Yeah.
You wanted to see all of them.
Exactly. So
now-
it's like we have early bird tickets on sale right now for $40. Tickets will jump in price to $50 on September 7th, I believe. So
Don't be ridiculous.
don't be ridiculous.
You know you're going to go anyways.
Yeah, it's a good time. And we have
Don't-
bus hosts. So there's going to be 6 amazing local Hamilton folks who are going to entertain you with their motivational speaking, with their comedy. We have realtors, we have storytellers. Like if you are sitting on the bus and getting transported with your pals to the next location, you're also being entertained. You don't got to worry about parking or Uber. And then once you arrive at the destinations, we've got 2 shows at the Cotton Factory. One of them is the show that I'm hosting called Tell Me a Story. So art submissions. Yeah, submissions are closed
August 15th.
on August 15th. Look at you.
I thought I missed it. That's
No.
how I know the number so well.
That's right. Yeah, I poked you on that.
All of a
You
sudden I was
have-
like, I think it's August 1st. I better do it. And it was like prior to August 1st.
It
I
was
checked.
August 1st,
Was
and
it?
then we
So I was right.
extended the deadline because people were busy having fun over the summer, and people were like panicking, and we're like, you know what, we got you. Just breathe. Let's just give
That's
everybody a little bit of time. Good.
I would have got it done anyways. I was before August 1st.
Yeah.
But now I can wait till August 14th. No,
Yes.
I'm going to do it tomorrow.
That's okay. You know what? I feel like August 14th at 11:50 p.m. our
reasonable.
system's just going to get flooded.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm cool with that. Like shout out to all the early bird.
Chris said the same thing. He's like, the last day
Yeah.
when he called for the hot dogs,
Yeah.
he's like, about half are coming in. that
Yes,
day.
that's
Like,
always the way it goes.
that's the game.
Yeah, so it's exciting. We have Art Circuit's going to be a lot of fun. The Tell Me a Story show is based on like 2-dimensional work, so painting, illustration, photography, and any work that the artist feels tells a story, which I'm going to say is pretty open-ended.
Yeah.
And as a conceptual artist myself that really values narrative and storytelling, this is a theme that I would love to see everyone else explore. And then I'm excited to be the host for this show and exhibit a range of different artists' work at the Cotton Factory.
Yeah.
And at the Cotton Factory, we also have a show by Smokestack that's happening at the same time,
Yeah.
which is super cool. And then the Back Alley Gallery is showing the Lightness show, which is a sculpture-based relief work, which is going to be very exciting.
Is it already somewhere right now? No.
No.
That's something
No,
new.
this is all going to happen on October 4th.
Hasn't been
Has not
the
been.
launch.
This is the day. This
Now,
is the
as
day.
far as the submissions for the
Yes.
Tell Me a Story,
Yes.
you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Submissions are, they send in 3 samples
Yep.
of work that's already done.
Correct.
Then for the show, they make something new, or they can make something new.
Well, there's options.
Options.
So it's $25 for artists to submit up to 3 images. If you only have like one piece of work that you're really proud of and that's what you would want to be in the show, you can send just one.
Okay.
You can show up to 3 either examples of work or work that you'd like to exhibit.
Actually be in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then if you're accepted into the show, we'll shoot an email out to all the accepted artists right before the show and give you an opportunity to resubmit newer work should you choose. Not a
Yeah.
requirement.
Yeah,
But if
can
you're
be
working
your-
on something right now and you just want to like send in a submission to be like, hey, this is me, this is what I do, I'm really cool, I make post-it art,
Yeah. I'm like,
then
I'm like, it's going to take me all the way to September to do it, so I need some wiggle room here.
Yeah, so right before October 4th, we'd reach out and say, like, do you have new work you want to show? And if it's just as rad as the stuff that you submitted and you were accepted, then, like, we sub that in instead.
Okay. This is basically just, like, to prove myself I can read and that I got all this information.
Yeah, it's like a little calling card. And
this is an information session for myself right now. That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Is there anything I'm missing?
Yes, I'm so glad that we just had this, like, Instagram chat in person.
Yeah, that's what this is. This is like, I could just open the website again, but...
That's okay. You're not the only one. And I'm happy to answer questions on my personal Instagram at Tania Lacaria, or through the Art Circuit Hamilton Instagram. But, like, yeah, there's a frequently asked questions part of our website, and yet it's still easier to just shoot a message. So if anyone needs to do that, I'm here to help.
But if you're watching this clip,
it's
August 14th right now.
Right?
You have till midnight.
Yeah, you have
submit.
Until midnight.
That's
exactly.
when I'm going to post this clip, and you need to submit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to miss your opportunity.
That's right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I saw for it was the clip of you and Paul. Like, maybe I saw the bloopers first. You guys, like, hiding behind the sculpture?
The bloopers were a lot of fun. So, like, this is our biggest year, and so our sponsors include the Art Gallery of Hamilton, and we're very excited to also be having a show with the Art Gallery of Hamilton Sales and Services. So they're going to be putting together a very intimate show. And I was with Paul at the Cotton Factory, and we were filming some footage for the reels, you know,
a movie,
as you do. Cotton Factory is also one of our sponsors. They've been so wonderful and generous. And I guess, like, when you're just filming stuff for Instagram, there's a lot of, like, really awkward, weird stuff that happens. So that's what you saw. You saw us trying to spontaneously jump out from behind a pillar. But I jumped too high, my crop top went up, and I, like, accidentally flashed everybody. But I was, you know, not real flash, but
I would say that wasn't
flashed.
The blooper I was talking about.
No, that wasn't the blooper you saw. But, like, I also,
I wouldn't bring it up to cut to that clip. You know, that's not what I'm doing.
Well, it was just like I didn't realize my shirt was black, and so was my undergarments. So no one saw anything. But in the moment, we just burst out in laughter, and we just had a good time. So the bloopers are always more fun, but unfortunately, they don't make it to the final cut, you know?
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do. You're right. If I had full control, I would add more bloopers and less official video, because like, life should be fun.
Yeah, it's got to be fun.
I'm not always in control of everything.
No.
Apparently.
What role would you say social media has in you creating?
This is a great question. So thank you for asking that. I think for me personally as an artist, social media is something that I like to use to document my process and to share what it is that I'm creating with my viewers. Mm-hmm. But at one point I was experimenting with using Instagram Live, and that taught me a lot of lessons.
What did that do?
I learned that there's something very comfortable about recording a video while I'm creating and then having control over editing and filtering. But while I was doing Instagram Live, it just felt so vulnerable and so raw, and I feel like I was exceptionally aware of the people who were watching me, and it actually affected my work.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I feel if I go on Instagram Live for a second, and like the first 20 people could join.
Yes.
But when those first 3 people are in there,
you're like, oh, hi.
I'm like, you're looking at my soul right now. I'm uncomfortably sitting here.
And it's so strange. And I find it interesting and exciting to be on live, because I don't necessarily think that feeling that awkwardness and that vulnerability is bad.
No.
I'm just more hyper aware. So it will change my behavior, and I can't decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's neither. It just is.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always experimenting with, like, how do I want to show up on my social media? What do I want to communicate to my viewers? And I'm also trying to be transparent about my creative process, because I identify as being a performative artist, not a performance artist. Performative artist, because a lot of the work I do is very conceptual and involves a performative element. So I'm okay with letting people see that, but it's super raw to share that live.
Compared to a version you can cut and add different angles and do whatever.
Compared to like, this is the performance I want to share, because let's be honest, most of social media is a performance, right?
Yeah.
It's a curated collection. It's supposed to be the highlight reel.
It would be like the highlight reel. And
exactly.
Try to keep it off like highlight reel, but then I'm also like, I don't post necessarily bad things.
Right.
But like, I'm not like, it's all not polished.
No,
so
and I
just
think
try to be raw with it.
Yeah, and there's something cool about being able to see people who share things that are maybe less forced and less edited, but at the same time, you're not like following me around like this is some kind of reality TV show all day.
No, I have off time.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to turn off like that. So I don't know.
I think what you were saying with the Instagram live is how I originally felt. You tell me you felt the same of doing like videos talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Like at the start, I was like, this is the worst thing.
Yes.
I'm not going to be comfortable with this. But then as time went on,
Did
you
it change
do it more.
for you?
Yeah, now I don't care.
Me too.
I'm
Me
like,
same.
You just get this attitude of like, I'm posting it because it's good for the promotion of all this stuff. There's still the polished version of what I do. But if I fumbled a word during the video, I don't need to retake it every time.
Yeah. I think
like,
showing a little bit of your humanity on social media can help bridge the gap between that feeling of being like, this is fake and this is genuine, right?
Yeah.
Like you can show up and you can still be performing for the benefit of your business and be professional. But if you flub a word, or if you're just like accidentally human for a moment.
Or if it's like feels very scripted, right? If you're, sometimes I'll watch it, I'll be like, but I've talked to you in person. I mean, like, that's not you, right? Like, there's a difference between just being raw with it and not.
And you don't like to watch scripted stuff, so, like, why would you show up that way for other people, right? You're not even your own audience.
And I used to push it on a lot of, like, musicians who I'd work with to be like, that's the best way to promote your stuff day of. I was like, because whoever's looking at that feels like it's your account and they're talking to you, or, like, you're the one who's, like, talking to them. But then when I was trying to get myself to do it this a couple of years ago, I'd be like, whoa. Yeah. The last thing I want to do is see that reverse angle on the cell phone.
Did you find that there was a moment in time where you just like crossed over from being like uncomfortable about talking videos to all of a sudden being...
That's a good question. I can't like pinpoint when it was. Definitely came with like the radio and other things like that, because this isn't necessarily live, but I can only edit it to like a degree. Well, it's live for the radio.
Yes.
And the footage, I could just decide. I was like, hey, I looked stupid in that clip. I don't have to post it. But if it's a good moment, I still gonna, and I catch myself glancing at the camera one too many times, I still am like, I gotta use it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I agree.
I definitely had something to do with that. Because the first episode I ever did, I was just by myself.
Yeah. And
when you're just by yourself talking to this camera and filling the air, I was like, oh yeah, 2 hours is long.
2 hours long.
And now 2 guests or 3 guests, I'm like, yeah, 2 hours is short.
Yes,
like, it goes by quickly.
I think like, I remember for me at a certain point being like, I just don't care anymore. And when you abandon that fear of looking stupid because you realize no one else cares either.
They're too busy.
Like everybody's too busy and they're so wrapped up about themselves not looking stupid. No one cares if you look stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Like
100%.
literally nobody is paying attention. So I just let it go. I just talk. And I always like to imagine that I'm having this conversation in the mirror or to myself.
Yeah.
And if anybody else is going to judge me for it, like, you know, really not concerned for you.
You're like, I judged me first.
Yeah,
and that's
trust
the
me,
end
no
of it.
one is judging me harder than I am judging myself. I promise you that.
You think I posted it too many times? Me too, but I'm trying to promote this stuff.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, and that's where part of it was like letting go of like, oh, I don't care how many likes or whatever it gets. Like, I know the piece of stuff I want to like do well and like put extra energy towards. And if that means sometimes I post it at midnight and it does not great in the algorithm,
so be it.
Over it.
Maybe
like,
it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, people are like, no, don't post after 6 p.m. I'm like, well,
really?
That's half a day. I don't know. People be saying lots of stuff.
I don't know.
I'm like, why?
I feel like...
Explain to me why.
I've tried to play by all the rules on the algorithm, and I think it's hit and miss. And sometimes, to me, I just think, like, if you do want to be in this performance and play the game, but as authentically as possible, just do what feels right.
Yeah, and I was like, if it's going to be authentic, I'm not going to keep it within this, like, time constraint. Like, I don't do a bunch of stuff after 6 p.m.
Right.
Or this idea that I was like, if you post it, I forget what it was. Somebody said along the lines of, like, it doesn't matter what time it is. It's like it's the piece of content or, like, the piece of art. Like, if something's good, doesn't matter what time, it's still going to get, like, a certain amount of attention.
Yeah.
The algorithm can obviously instant.
Well, I heard one of the new rules on the algorithm was that you can't post a story until the last batch has expired. And that totally ruins the point of the story. It's supposed to be like a spontaneous thing that you're sharing in the moment, right? But if you're aware of, like, oh, I have, like, 7 hours left before my last story expires, then you're not sharing that story. Then you've ruined it all.
Yeah,
so
people
forget
be like,
that.
This is the type of stuff you can share. Somebody told me you couldn't share reels directly to Instagram. And I was like, well, what does? Now I'm double post. I was like, I don't know if this is working or not.
Don't
it's
even,
just, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
You gotta experiment with stuff. You see something
Yes.
working, you're like, okay, I might do more of that stuff.
I think like everything is experimenting,
Mm-hmm.
like art, right? We're artists.
Yeah, try
we
stuff.
make things. If you don't try new stuff, then you're stuck doing the same stuff over and over again. That is boring. I do not want to play in that life. I don't want to play in that like creative space. I don't want to play like
And I
that
think
on
I've seen
Instagram.
people who do that with Instagram, where it's like you see one thing works for them a little bit, and they're like, oh well, I'm never gonna try all those other things I was
Right.
trying. They're like, I'm just gonna do this one thing. So you don't know. Maybe the
Boring.
next thing would have been the thing that really, right?
Right?
But you stopped at this stop because it got a little extra attention. It's like that next thing might have been the thing that got all the attention you ever dreamed of.
There's only one way to find out,
You gotta try.
right? Got to take that
You gotta
risk.
do things.
Yeah.
How do you think you're perceived on Instagram?
Oh, I don't even want to play that game
You're like,
because
I
I
don't know.
couldn't care less.
That's a good answer. I stole that question from a YouTube clip I watched today. Somebody asked Joe Rogan, and it was like he was like 20
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
And he had a full head of hair. And he's like, it was a wild video. But I was
Right.
like, oh, that's all right question.
Like I kind of subscribe to the idea that like other people's opinions of you are none of your business. I show up in a way that I would look back on any of my content and feel proud of what I'm sharing. You know, I try to show up in a way that feels authentic and true to me.
Yeah.
I try to be respectful of myself and others. And to that degree, that's all that matters. So like whatever anyone else thinks or perceives, don't care.
Yeah, I forget I forget where I steal all these quotes from, but it was it was like they put the same weight behind like the compliment as you do like the insult. No, I mean the person that says, "Oh,
Right.
this is the worst,"
Yeah.
has the same weight as the person who's like, "Oh, this is the best." So
Yeah.
then it all means about the same.
Yeah.
Same nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like when somebody says a compliment, it feels good, and they say something bad, it feels bad, but nobody's opinion is like.
No. And I think like we do tend as people in general, I would imagine, not just me, but like I do this for sure, but I think most people tend to focus on the one bad comment. You know, you can get like 20 positive comments, 20 applauses,
Yeah.
and then that one person that's going boo in the back,
You hear
you're
that
like,
one.
I hear that louder than everyone.
Yeah, it'll be 30 or whatever likes, and it'll be one like not even bad comment, one like
Yeah.
mediocre comment.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
It's like,
that,
no.
and I've got those comments in the past, and I've had trolls, and I've had people try to, you know, tear a strip off me, and it's like, oh, okay, fine, great. Like
Yeah.
this is a fun part of your day, and it's
Yeah, and you go to their account and there's no post. And there's no.
yeah,
Like,
usually
that's always the person.
Yeah, you have a lot of opinions about my art for someone who doesn't make art yourself. So like, that's cool.
Do you use TikTok as well?
I do,
do.
use TikTok.
I find that's where
That is weird.
That is where the
I'm
worst
like-
people in the comment section. That is where the worst ones exist to me. Like,
I am so hesitant to talk about my TikTok because it started out as like a experimental
okay,
experience where I was just trying to show up on TikTok in a different way about like sharing more about my life and seeing if this would be something that would lead people to my Instagram that I could like throw to me as an artist,
Yeah.
but kind of like draw them in by, I don't know, showing them the real me.
Interesting.
But really all I got were like weird comments. I got hit on a lot, which is like, yay, TikTok, the dating app no one asked for.
Yeah, that's and it's because most of them like has a reach. I mean, of like
There's a much bigger
not your
reach.
area.
Yes.
I'm like, why?
But I thought that that was really cool about TikTok because
Yeah.
content is evergreen. So you can make a video 3 years ago and it'll all of a sudden show up on someone's FYP now.
and it's new.
And it's new.
If they haven't seen it before, it's new for
it's
all
new
this
to
stuff,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
and so it's like, oh my God, you know, I don't even make art like that anymore. I don't even have that hairstyle. That shirt doesn't even fit me anymore. Like you and your life have moved on.
Yeah.
But TikTok, you're still there. You're still evergreen on TikTok forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that I have way more engagement on Instagram.
Okay.
I like TikTok and I use it and I watch videos and I like to, you know, tune out and kind of mindlessly do
you
the
say
scroll
that's
thing.
your go-to for the scroll.
Yeah, I do like some
For
TikTok
the
scrolling.
doom scroll, as they call it.
Yeah, I like to watch some videos about like plants.
I was like, if it's a doom, I was
I'm
like,
a
why
plant
is
mom.
it got to be a doom scroll? I just see nothing but nice things that I like.
Yeah, like I've really tapped into my TikTok algorithm at this point, and I'm not seeing garbage anymore. Like I'm
Yeah.
seeing some really cool stuff about like science and art and technology and plants, and like I like it. It's a
All
good
it takes
time.
is 2 posts of something I like really don't like for me to I just unfollow it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes away.
That's it.
It's not that serious.
Do you have a TikTok? Do you use
I
TikTok?
do have a TikTok because what do we call it? Internet syndication.
Okay.
I'm like, if you have a clip and there's a platform that's going to deliver it to people,
yes,
I'm going to put it there.
Yeah.
Or like any piece of content, because you don't know, especially I find with like these radio clips, I could post it on all 3 platforms at the same time with the same caption, and one it'll do really well, and one it'll do nothing, and one will do another. And I don't watch the numbers too much, but if something does well, I notice that, right? Like, because then I'm like, what can I take away from this? When it does 100 views for a bunch of videos and it doesn't matter, I'm like, I rarely like stop doing that thing because of that. But if I see something do well, I try to like analyze it to be like, what's the thing there?
Well, I think people use different platforms for different reasons. And I've done the same thing. It's like my own version of the A/B testing. I'll put the same reel and video on Instagram as TikTok, and I'll edit it inside the app so that it's like, you know,
play by the rules.
Like
that's what I want.
Use
their
really
captions,
the algorithm, and all that stuff. That
record
they say
it live or save it in drafts. Or all the things,
and
right?
the performance is always different. And I think like if I'm thinking about the way I use the different platforms, I would be more apt to watch and listen to your clips on TikTok than I would on Instagram. Because when I'm on Instagram, I'm rarely absorbing information. I'm usually just posting.
Yeah.
So if I am like scrolling, I'm going really quick. Yeah. I'm not like investing time. TikTok's like, okay, I've had dinner. I'm like maybe cleaning the dishes. I have the TikTok on in the background, and I want longer videos that I can stop and listen to.
Interesting.
So that's how I use it. So I don't know.
And that's how I try to use it, because what we were talking about, if like that's your app.
Yeah.
I find like different people don't use one and use the other. So I'm like, if I'm going to just put it in one place.
Yeah.
And you're over here scrolling on TikTok.
That's right.
I could be over on TikTok too. Like in like advertising marketing, it's like you're trading attention. That's what we're looking for. Where are the eyes looking right now?
100%.
And if you're looking at TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever new thing will come that I'll try.
Yeah.
What would you say? So you've tried these different things. You've experimented. You see good feedback. You sold your piece through Instagram. What would you say you've learned that you could like give advice to someone trying to promote their art to Instagram?
Good question.
What's your rule or hack or trick or thing?
I would say that what I've learned is that you can get really overwhelmed and flustered by trying to play by the rules, and trying to outsmart the algorithm is a fool's game. I would say consistency is the most important thing. Just show up.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like be making technological masterpieces. You know what I mean? You just have to,
no one's seen before.
Yeah.
Never had an edit like this.
I've invested time and effort into reels that have gone nowhere, and then other times I've just taken a silly clip and added a voiceover, and that one blows up. Yeah. So I think like posting consistently is key, and I think involving other people and trying to collaborate is key so that you get some cross promotion. Yeah. And it was funny because right before we chatted today, I checked out my professional dashboard, and for some reason, like I have just under 5,000 followers on Instagram, but it says that my professional reach today is 55,000 viewers. I'm like, what? Who are these people? And
glad we collabed today. That's good for me.
Yeah, that's great. I was like, oh, it's probably because I'm on because Design Matters, right? Yeah.
Go to my page. It's less than that.
I was throwing to you as the reason.
Yeah, that's interesting because I always like a credit like clips and things like that. That if I collab with someone, it automatically does way better because you don't post a bunch of radio clips.
Right.
I post a bunch of radio clips all day long, so my following is like, probably ease up. I've seen a lot of these.
That's fair.
Where when it collabs with someone new, it's good because their audience doesn't see that.
Right. Well, I think that's what's happening right now. I was at a networking event last night for the YEP Hamilton, the Young Entrepreneurs event. It was at Conversate restaurant in Hamilton. Great time, diverse group of people, and everybody that like took a video or a photo that tagged me in it that I reshared, I had more non-followers view my stories, and then I gained new followers from people who were at the event or people who were at the event. Yeah. And I think that that's what has helped contribute. Yeah. And then there's also the diversity of like your audience that would have had no idea who I am. So thank you for spreading the news, and vice versa. Yep. So I think like that kind of cross promotion helps. But at the end of the day, if I'm coming to your social media site, let's say Instagram for the argument of this site, if I'm coming to your Instagram and you don't have enough posts that are diverse that hold my attention, and you're just not showing up, then I'm less likely to return. Yeah. If I know you're posting often, you'll get pushed in the algorithm. I'll see you again. You know, I think that like my piece of advice would be to just show up, however you can.
Do the thing. I think it was it's probably another Gary Vee thing where you're like, the people who are gonna get sick of your content are probably not your audience, and you're not going to find the people who are your audience without posting more content.
That's right.
So then you're going to gain those people, and they're going to like it, and they're going to continue to watch it.
Yeah.
I get the threats from people who are closer to me, being like, I'm going to mute you because you're posting too much, and they're like, you're wrecking my algorithm.
And
I was
you know
like,
what?
fair.
That's fine.
I'm like, do it.
And there's people that I follow who are friends that like I don't necessarily need to see that content every day, and vice versa. Like, we're friends, they support me, but they don't want to hear about painting and telephones and all the art I'm doing. I have
people muted. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, me too.
I mute people as well, right? But like the ebb and flow of me all of a sudden coming back to your page one day as a friend and unmuting you because now you're working on something that's appealing. 100%. Like, you just got to keep doing you.
Yeah.
And then your people will find you. And I think it's really cool to become magnetic that way. On social media, you just show up as your authentic self, and you start to attract other people that are really into what you're saying, whether you want to or not, just because you are you. It just happens. It's kind of magical.
So I think you're trying to find that, what you said as far as non-followers. That's like
I
don't listen to a lot of the Instagram advice, but one of the things is like you want those things to be on the little dial to see more non-followers than followers, because that's how the audience, the followers they're already following.
Yeah.
They're already there watching it. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, we're not going to do 30 minutes on social media because everybody's anti-internet is the trend to be like, oh, it's all the worst.
That's
like,
fair.
I've gotten lots of opportunities. It's the best. I love it.
Yeah, agreed.
I was like, it's too helpful.
Okay, follow your lead then.
What's been your favorite part of summer so far?
Well, I'm in my mind just wrapping my mind around the fact that it is summer and it's almost over. So I've been
my favorite part is that I missed it and it's gone.
It's over in my mind. I have just been going nonstop and moving at warp speed, and I think my favorite part of the summer so far has been this exciting project that I'm working on.
With the phones?
With the phones.
I watch Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. You're following. Okay, you haven't muted me yet.
Not yet.
You haven't seen enough phones.
Yeah, 3 more pink phones and you're done.
Oh my gosh, I have 81 pink phones right now.
Holy.
And for anyone who's listening who has no idea what I'm talking about, I'm very excited to be working on a 5-foot-tall sculpture for the CIBC Run for the Cure.
Oh.
So this is a very exciting commission that will be exhibited in Toronto during the Run for the Cure event that is like a breast cancer awareness fundraiser.
I caught that information in one of the clips. I got that, and then I was like, the pink, it all makes sense now.
The pink makes sense, yes. Yeah. So I'm very grateful to be celebrating the 3rd milestone in the Canadian Cancer Society's achievements in the last couple of years, which was the establishment of a hotline. So I'm building a sculpture of all the like telephones that people would have used over time to seek support, have important conversations, share good news, share bad news. You know, you think about all of those conversations that have happened, and I'm holding these retro vintage pieces of history in my hand, but like they were devices people used to communicate such important feelings and thoughts.
It was the only way.
Oh my God, it was the only way. And we still do that.
Ways, but it was the
way.
There was no text, there was no, with those phones.
With those rotary
phones. It was a call.
Absolutely.
The cord was long and you went down the hall.
Oh my gosh. And even some of the phones that have like, by the time things had converted to like the push button phones, some of the numbers are more worn off, which is like, oh my God, who were you calling the most? Who was most important to you?
Familiar numbers and like combinations.
It's been such an emotional experience to even make this piece of art. So like my summer has been spent taking apart old telephones, spray painting them, putting them back together, emptying out all the guts, recycling all the metal, and now I'm in the process of building the actual sculpture, which will be done by the end of August and in Toronto on exhibit, I guess, by September.
That'd be cool. I didn't realize till a recent Instagram clip that you were like taking the phones apart and like leaving some of the pieces on pink.
Yeah.
When I was imagining, I was like, she's spraying them. They're all pink.
No, I can't just spray paint all of them because I wanted
to
retain
those details.
Yeah, like the buttons are so cool, and I wanted people to see the buttons.
Well, and even just like the original numbers that are on things. Like I have this old phone in my garage. And it's a radio phone, and I used it for like these tattoos with numbers on it. But I scanned in the numbers, and I like used those because it's like it meant something. I was like, there's fonts, so I was like, but somebody painted these little numbers.
I know,
like, something else.
I think like everything has a story, and being able to contribute to this project for such a great cause as well has been such a great part of my summer, but also an all-encompassing part of my summer, which is why I haven't really had
a lot of painting going on.
A lot of a summer.
You got to hunt down those phones.
I hunted down the majority of them, but then thank you, social media, and everybody who saw me put out my plea for telephones, and then people started doing the hard work for me. Yeah, people were like, hey, I'm at a thrift store. Do you want 10 of these phones? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then they deliver them to me. Like, I have the best followers. I'm just going to say, everybody that follows me and supports me, like, does so with such dedication. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but, like, very grateful. Yeah,
this whole episode has been brought to you by Instagram. Meta has paid us off.
I wish.
We are AI.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Meta, if you're looking for ad space, go to magazine, give me a call. That's right. And help me out in the algorithm.
Right. But like, aside from technology and AI, I think the best part of summer has also been that I get out for a hike every day. Not tonight because I'm spending time here at CFNU.
Hikes are good.
Awesome.
This is better.
Yeah, I hike about like 8 kilometers a day, and it's my way of turning my brain off at the end of the day. So this summer has been really great for just working on art and then being out in nature and hiking, and like, it's a little bit of hermit mode for me.
That's good though.
Which is funny because I do attend a lot of events as well. But like, yeah, I've just been enjoying being outside this summer.
I think that's like, that's part of the work, going to events and like showing up to those things.
It really is.
And it like, it's to someone who's not like doing those things might be like, oh, that's not work. You're going and you're having a drink, you're watching a show, but it's like you're supporting someone else's thing. The same way you want them to like come back and support yours.
Yes.
And a lot of times people will go to things of people who showed up for their thing, right?
Yep.
If I'm like, I've never seen you come to any of the things I've invited you to.
Totally.
I'm not in a hurry when you want to like return the favor, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
like the mutual interest is important, but also like the event I went to yesterday, the networking event, this word networking is such a like dirty word because it's so awkward. It has this like awkward
hustle
stigma.
Culture and all those other things.
Like shaking hands and being like, hi, what do you do? What do you do? Yeah. But if you approach the concept of networking as just making connections with other people and taking an interest in other people, which comes naturally.
To grow that community of people, right?
That's like, it. And then you end up, you know, that's how
So you don't look at the page and you're like, I don't know any of these people on this page. And it's like, you probably didn't support anything local at all.
And that's how, like, making connections happens, and Hamilton has such a supportive community of people that like want to connect with each other, want to stay in touch, want to show up for one another.
Has the events for that like meet to happen, right? Like,
and like, I'll go to other art shows and it'll be like fun. It doesn't feel like networking, but it's also, like you said, showing up for other people. Then they reciprocate
because they want people there at their event. And then when you're there, like, oh, I appreciate that person was there, whether it's packed or whether it's empty. They'd like to see the extra person, right? Like,
and I think like every single day we have so many opportunities to make connections with other people, and like the idea of networking doesn't have to be so structured and official. And like, I met one of the people that was integral to the last show that I had in June, actually at McMaster at the Live Lab. Shout out to Professor Lauren Fink. I met Lauren at Synonym Cafe. She was sitting across from my table. I was there working with a friend, and I overheard her have a conversation on Zoom. Sorry for eavesdropping on you, Lauren. And she was saying something about how like she's new to town and like doesn't know a lot of people yet. So I was like, hi, just wanted to let you know that Hamilton is very friendly. And if you're looking for cool things to do, like, I'm very tapped into the artist community. I don't know if you're an artist. She's not. But she's very creative.
Still enjoy those things, right?
Yeah, like, still into networking. She ended up coming out to one of my shows. We started chatting. I was like, we need to work together. We need to collaborate. Like, Lauren is so brilliant, and the work that she's doing at McMaster's Live Lab is just out of this world. And that was how a connection happened, just from being in a cafe and like saying hello to someone.
So would you call yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Ooh, I love this question because I'm going to throw out the fact that I'm an ambivert.
That's a good answer. Because you said you went out of your way to interact with someone.
Yeah.
Someone else like, oh, I never.
Right.
You talk to a stranger.
And that's fine. And a lot of people, that's not your style, and that's
like,
okay.
you talk to a stranger and mention that you were listening to their conversation. You're like, yeah, now we're friends.
Yeah, luckily she wasn't like, you're a weirdo, I hate you. She was super open to that. But I think that, like, I'm an ambivert. I can be extroverted. I do get energy from being around people whose company I enjoy, not necessarily being at, like, big concert. That kind of vibe drains me.
Yeah.
And drowns me.
Yeah, both.
But like, I'm also introverted where like, yeah, I do hike for 2 hours by myself every day, and I take myself on vacations alone, and I love that time. And being introverted.
You need both.
I need both.
I didn't know that I didn't know the word.
Ambivert, yeah.
Be an extrovert and I'd be like, oh no. I was like, I don't.
Yeah, like
that's
like
not how I
ambidextrous.
identify. No, I don't identify as no extrovert, but yeah,
Ambivert.
I am.
And I had this conversation yesterday with someone who was like, yeah, you know, I'm an extrovert, but like I like to be at home and read on my own. I was like, introverts don't just stay home and read. Introverts also, like, to me, being introverted means like I enjoy my own company and being on my own. So I will go out and do things for a whole day by myself. That's what introvertedness looks like to me.
Yeah.
Instead of being more recluse, which I am also prone to being recluse and hermity sometimes. But then I'll also like go out and meet people, and that's okay.
So yeah, everything else in like today's time is like a spectrum, but we're still like introvert or extrovert. Pick one.
Yeah,
You're
we
one or
don't-
the other.
yeah.
Figure it out.
Let's
like-
get comfortable in the gray area,
Yeah, there's
folks.
some
We don't
gray
have to
space
be
in there.
black or white all the time.
What is your favorite place to eat in Hamilton?
At my own house. No loser's ever said that before.
I've never heard that
Yeah.
answer. That's a good
I
answer.
like to eat at home.
Okay, so what's your go-to? It's your introvert night.
Right.
You're home.
So I do like to go out. I like to have more control over what I'm eating because I've really developed an appreciation for the self-care that's involved in like preparing food for myself and enjoying it on my own.
Yeah.
So I do like to eat at home. But when I am going out,
No,
I
I
feel
want
like,
the
you want the
intro.
home
What
meal?
are you making?
Okay.
What's the go-to?
Well, I'm on a...
We'll get to the restaurant plug after that, and you'll get a collab or something.
Okay.
But what's the?
I think like it's a little bit of a rut that I'm in, but I'm very happy in this rut. I basically eat salad and fish every night, and I'm
But if you
really happy
enjoy
with
it.
that.
Are you the type of person who could eat the same meal day in, day out?
Yes, but like I like a little bit of variety. Like I'm okay. I'll change up the type of salad or the
Okay.
type of fish.
Yeah.
And this is mainly because I don't like chicken and I don't like handling a lot of raw meat. But I could easily be a vegetarian and only eat steak, which is very weird. I know.
Oh, I feel like that's breaking the rule, but
It is breaking the rules,
Yeah,
but
that
I'm an
doesn't
artist.
count.
I can break the rules.
Yeah.
Right?
What would that be called?
I don't know.
Steakitarian.
Steakitarian.
Something like
New
that.
favorite word.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a
that's it.
painting called Steakitarian. I'm
Yeah,
going to
gonna do a
dedicate it to
steak
you.
show next year.
Yeah. In fact,
steal that.
the Post-it note art I'm going to make
Oh
for
yeah,
you
I
is going
forgot.
to
You
be
have to
of a
freestyle.
Steakitarian.
What do you mean when? It's now.
Is it
As soon as I
happening
find
now?
this marker.
You need to get me a Sharpie. I'm ready.
This is my stall music. It's right here already. I knew I grabbed it. All right, so I'm gonna play a beat,
Okay.
and you're gonna draw something of your choosing. Here's
Okay.
the Post-it notes.
Okay. Oh, I love that you gave me a red one.
This is the same beat you're gonna get, Connor. Cooper.
I was like, isn't it Cooper? Why do I know your guests more
Listen,
than you do?
when the show begins, my mind leaves the building. This is my freestyle for 2 hours.
This is really, like, again, I'm an abstract painter, so this is really not coming across the way it should.
I gotta get some.
This is the worst part of the show. I hate this right now.
Oh no, I still have 50 minutes. There's time
Oh,
for it
great.
to get worse
Okay.
from here.
Well, I think that my steakitarian drawing looks less like a steak wearing a ball cap and legs, and looks more
Well,
like
that's
a
the
more like a really weird peanut. The ball cap really didn't translate, but
it's a masterpiece.
this is for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is great.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, this is excellent. I haven't got someone to draw a post-it note in a long time on the show. Don't know why I lost that feature.
I
but
like how you gave me a red pen
Yeah.
or Sharpie.
Why?
Well, because A, it was steak.
That's
so
true.
that's rare.
Mm.
Get it?
Yeah.
And also,
That's a
you
double
don't
entendre.
you don't usually use red.
Not too
You
often.
use a lot of black.
A lot of
and
black.
pen.
Pen. Yep.
Yeah.
Red's the only like thing I think I'll like slip in there sometimes. But
It's so like official and institutional, and just reminds me of like corrected essays.
the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But like I'm a little bit older than you, so my essays were corrected by handwriting.
No,
Does that still happen? Is it still red? How do
You're
essays
giving me
get
more.
corrected
You're giving
now?
me more credit. I'm. Mine had red pen too.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I lived in a country area too. I was like behind the like regular curve.
Okay.
I missed out on like good Wi-Fi coming at like a proper age. It was
wow.
It was late.
Okay.
We lived near a lake. There was nothing good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you've come full circle now.
Nah, I like the internet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's a great post-it note.
Thanks.
It's going to inspire my to tell a story.
I can't wait for the story that
I'm
you're going to
do a
tell.
full steak story.
Steakatarian. That's how I'm going to introduce myself now.
You're a steakatarian?
Hi,
No.
I'm Tanya, and I'm a steakatarian.
And I'm an ambivert?
I'm an ambiverted steakatarian.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Is that the word you said, ambivert? Okay,
yeah, ambivert.
Yeah.
Like ambidextrous.
Yeah, that makes sense. Super crawl.
Super crawl.
Or art crawl.
Or art crawl.
Any of these things.
Yeah. What about it?
Do you partake? Do you do things?
I don't partake in art crawl anymore, but I am hoping to come by tomorrow for art crawl and see your setup.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Okay, X that.
Actually, funny enough, I won't be there tomorrow.
You won't be.
But you can go see Cooper.
Okay.
Performing live.
Yes.
Hopefully he's performing live because I'm going to be messing up.
I'm going to find Cooper and I'm going to go see him perform live.
Because I will not be there.
I'm also going to be going to Relay Coffee because Veronica Dyer has a very fun show. She's exhibiting there, so I'm going to go to that. And then I'll be heading to Farside to see Kyle Stewart and Juliana's Love Notes
The Love
to
of Hamilton.
Yeah.
He posted this map
I know.
yesterday. Because the internet, I see the things.
I see the things too.
And I think like lots of people are scared to like say they saw it. Would you like post on it?
Isn't that the whole
you
point?
Saw it. Why
yeah,
would
like
I pretend I
posted
didn't see it?
for you to see
Yeah,
it.
if you ask me questions and pretend like you didn't, I saw your name too.
Yeah,
you saw
100%.
it. That was a cool map. They're doing a
That's
love
cool.
letter to Hamilton.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And that's like when I participated in Supercrawl last year, I was writing love letters to Hamilton, and I had a big banner that said love letters to Hamilton. And I had a corkboard where I had pre-written some love notes to people, and I said, take one or leave one. So you could either take a love note that I wrote or write a love note for someone else. And it was such a like heartfelt, touching experience because people inadvertently ended up writing all these love notes like to me.
Oh, okay.
And it was just such a nice lesson.
Yeah, afterwards, you just got all this like appreciation.
Well, it's just this like idea that you get back what you put out.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm excited for this Love Letters to Hamilton show at Farside because I think Hamilton pride is huge in our city.
For sure.
And they're going to get a lot of love back, which they totally deserve.
That's where I've completely stolen your idea, except mine's advice. You can leave advice or take advice.
Maybe we have a hive mind and we were just on the same page.
That's it.
I don't think you stole anything.
I stole a quote from someone. I'm going to say it right now.
It's probably Gary Vee again?
I just refuse to say who I remember the quotes of. And then when you leave here, you go, oh, it's his quote. No, Rick Rubin has said something about the idea that ideas are like in a library. And like you just take them out and borrow them, and then someone else uses it, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
But I'll be doing the advice at Supercrawl.
Can't wait.
Not tomorrow because I'm leaving. I'm going to New York.
Oh.
Or at 905 Fest. You familiar with 905 Fest?
No.
Bayfront Park, August 25th.
Okay.
Come leave advice there.
Oh, that's exciting.
Fun, hip-hop, all music. Event.
Awesome.
Stages, foods, all the things.
I love it. Well, I've enjoyed watching people give and receive
advice.
the advice on your YouTube channel.
I
It's
like
really
it.
fun.
I'm going to continue to do it.
I think so.
Yeah, I used to do it for a bottle of water. I'd exchange you.
Oh.
You wrote a piece of advice. I'd give you a bottle of water.
Oh.
It had a different
Were
label
people
on
really
it.
thirsty?
It was
Like-
free water, so I think people would just be down to take it.
Okay.
And it was only a little bit of like participation. I
Okay.
only had one or two people be like, "Oh, get out of here." Like,
Yeah.
one guy was so mad because it was big. I held a sign that said free water. It wasn't fully free.
Right, there wasn't.
So he tried to
exchange.
just grab from the cooler, and I was like, "No, hold up!"
Oh.
I was like, "There's a troll toll." And he was like, ran away, and I was like, "All right, dude."
Yeah,
Like,
he turns out to be the troll.
I was like, "You could have just had the water. It's not that big of a deal."
Like,
but
here, just take it.
Yeah, I'm not that mad.
Can I
about
ask
it.
you what your favorite advice you've seen come through your own project is?
My favorite advice that
Mm-hmm.
I've seen. There's one that always like sticks out to me.
Mm-hmm.
This guy wrote down that he's like, no matter what your job is, he's like, your job is to be like helping the person you're like, he said your boss, but like who you're working for, like working with in like any way you can. He's like, whatever you can do to like help them, that's the like task. It's not the like, I'm doing this and I'm too good to do these other it was just like, he worded it way better, I'm certain, but that was the general.
Okay.
That's the one that always sticks out to me when somebody asks about the advice.
Okay, I
don't
like
know why
that.
it's stuck in my mind.
I'm gonna have to come up with a good one for when I come to August 25th.
Or
and leave some
I've been
advice.
telling everybody, come up with your best advice before Supercrawl.
Right.
Because I need the best advice.
Okay,
I always
I'll
get ready and
bring
they're
it.
like, I don't know what to...
I'll bring it.
You have a month.
I have a month.
Come up with it.
A month and a bit. No, less.
Maybe less.
Oh my God! See, I told
What
you
day
August.
is it?
Just
Summer's
August is a time
gone.
warp.
All right, just like summer, the episode has progressed and time is going.
Okay.
And I got to get Cooper Connor over here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cooper. And his friends who play saxophone, whose name I don't know. Maybe it's Connor. We'll find out. The last thing I need from you is to say this is a Because Design Matters exclusive.
This is
That's exactly the result. I get lots of time.
We're going to keep that.
Yeah.
This is a Because Design Matters exclusive.
Perfect. And now I need you to say your name and that you've been watching Because Design Matters.
My name is Tania Lacaria, and I've been watching Because Design Matters.
Almost. We have to use that one. I gotta write these down because I make it so complicated.
Yeah, like maybe a flashcard, but also we just talked about the humanity of flubbing, and we're
only
gonna keep it.
Someone will want a retake, and I never use the retake. That's why I'm not even gonna humor you to say we'll do it again.
I'm sorry, I couldn't follow your instructions.
No one can follow the instructions. It's not like I have paper around here. I could write it out. I refuse. Okay, this is the show. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks, Brody.
We'll do this again.
Yeah.
Maybe when it's the circuit time.
Yeah, look forward to
But
chatting.
It's August 14th right now. Submit your application.
You got time. You got until August 15th.
It's August 14th right now.
Cool.
Time has moved on.
Thanks, Brody.
Thank you for coming out. Now I play music.
My name is Tania Lacaria, and I've been watching Because Design Matters.